for the Board of Library Trustees Board meeting for this Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. May I have a roll call, please?
Didn't bring my sheet. Trustee Gala?
Here.
Trustee Kelly?
Here.
Trustee Meadow is currently not here. Trustee Rule?
Here.
Trustee Zick is currently not here. Trustee Burrell?
Here.
President Smart?
Here. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we are happy to have some public comments today. We don't often get visitors to our meeting, so I'm happy to see you all here. I'm Amy Samari, this is our board, and hopefully we'll have even some more people come on in. So for public comment, I see a couple people signed up to comment, and that's awesome. We ask that you keep your remarks to 5 minutes, and we are not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but we listen to everybody's comments, but we don't have a back and forth at this meeting. Like, we want to hear what you have to say. And I actually have a statement too, but I do want to hear what everyone has to say, but we're not gonna kind of go back and forth during the meeting. So that is how it works. And if you haven't signed in,
I think Teresa.
yeah, all right, Teresa's there, perfect, wonderful. All right, so that said, I'm Amy Samari, I am the president of the board. We are all here except for one of our members who is out of town on business, Greg Zick. So I would love to hear from Nick. Are you Nick?
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
An observation for the last 6 months or so, many of the newsletters seem to have copies missing. I went to the information desk as an example. Crane Chicago Business, one issue were missing. They came back to me and said, well, we found out there are some missing, we're trying to get back copies. So, well, do people check them out? Well, sometimes they're missing. So what kind of procedure is there to make sure they're not missing? Because when they are, and other newsletters, I have to go to Palatine or wherever
Right.
to find them. You know, Palatine seems to always have issues, okay? I come to find out that there's no security or checks and balances for people just taking them and leaving them and not bringing them back, whether they're library patrons or people aren't members of the library. So it's not just cranes, but consumer reports on health. The last issue downstairs is October 23rd. Bottom line personal. Most current issue is February 15th. Bottom line health, November 23rd, 2023. Mayo Clinic health letter. April, but no February or March. Pups health and nutrition letter. The most recent issue is November 17th of 2023. So I'm not sure what's going on and what can be done, but either drop these subscriptions or somehow find a system to keep things current. Now, some issues have stickers that say current issue for in-library use only. Very few have that. I asked, is there some type of a barcode that would trigger an alarm like books or anything? So we don't even have that for books anymore. So I just think it's wrong that I'm living here since 1978 in Arlington Heights, raised children, grandchildren. This in our tax dollars deserve more than people just walking out with things.
Yes.
So dig down and somebody would be so kind to get back to me and let me know what posture the board takes. I'd appreciate it.
That would be terrific. Have you, obviously you wrote your name here. Is it easy to look up your phone number, or could you write your phone number
I would,
so that someone from the staff can get back to you eventually when you do that? Well, that's my list. So another person that would like to speak? Yes.
Hi, my name is, I wrote a little bit, my name is Ken Melody. I was at the library last week and I just came to print something out. I was sitting at the computer and, the guy in front of me was watching porn, it's like full out, I don't wanna get into detail with kids here, but it was like full intercourse, bondage type porn, that he was watching. And when I informed the librarian, she told me that that was okay, that he was allowed to do that. Because that was his First Amendment right. So there's nothing stopping like a kid from seeing that. And I don't know if that's the librarian misspoke maybe, or if that's actually the library's policy. But the main concern here may seem that kids see the porn. But I don't really think that it goes further than that. The guy had his hand on his lap. So, I mean, what was he doing? One can only presume. And then he has these images in his mind while he's walking around the library with kids around on a Sunday afternoon. He goes into the bathroom alone, maybe another kid's in the bathroom alone, right? These things they all add on, and if the library stance is that that's allowed, then, I mean, what's gonna take to stop it, something to go wrong? So I later learned also that I posted on Facebook, and I learned that a lot of people had experienced this at our library. There's Google reviews at our library. If you guys go on there's a post on the Arlington Heights Facebook page that came from me. And a lot of people say that they've experienced the same thing in other similar situations. So I know that this might be like a common problem across libraries in America and Chicago, that libraries have problems enforcing because of the First Amendment. And I understand that, and they also have to abide by like the Children's Internet Protection Act I read, the APA, public library laws, and doing what's right for the community. And then one might say that there should be like an 18 and older section for these people to watch what they want to watch. But I'd argue that would probably make the situation worse if you especially if you advertise that. You'd have a lot of people coming in here just to watch it when they normally wouldn't. So I don't think that would be a good solution to this problem. What I recommend is pretty simple. It's just rephrase our library's policy to not allow people to watch porn on public computers. Because it is offensive, and librarians tell the librarians that they have to enforce that. Also add firewalls that block the porn. Many libraries have done this, and the community agrees with me. I know there's national debate right now on what libraries allow and what they do not allow. And I don't think that this is really part of that. I think that most people with common sense would say they don't think that people should watch porn while there's children in the library. So I posted this on the Arlington Heights Facebook page. Everyone agreed with me. I stopped at Eddie's after, had a cheeseburger and a beer. Everyone agreed with me there. And I just think no watching porn in my library. Thanks for letting me speak.
Thank you. Okay. I don't know if everyone was here when I said this, but, so when we take public comment, we are very excited that people come to our meetings because that doesn't usually happen. All of our meetings are televised live. They're also available to watch after on the library's YouTube channel. We are very interested to hear your opinions. We really are. However, we don't do a back and forth immediately with customers and patrons that come and talk to us. So I just want to let you know that we're not being rude. That's the way that our board meeting runs. So, okay, that was Nick. Oh, and the other thing is 5 minutes, which you were well within, so thank you for that. That was Nick and Ken and Anna.
Yes. I actually also prepared a few things. I made 5 copies. It's not gonna be long, I promise, if you could please, thank you. I agree with what he said, and I actually want to move it further where, he suggested that perhaps there should be a separate viewing room, for, materials such as this for grown-up, and then children are allowed in another room. So one could argue that the children are not gonna accidentally see what the adults are viewing. However, I've done a little bit of research on my own, and I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of somebody, a grown man or woman, who would come to the library to watch porn. Watching pornography, I believe, is something that should be done in private. Like, if you were a person who wanted to watch that, you would do it in the privacy of your home, because it's a very personal thing, and the material is very explicit, and in fact, you would hide it. So for somebody to, one, go outside his home, go to a public place, sit in front of a computer and purposely watch pornography, to me, speaks of this person. What kind of person is this? Like, no right-minded person, responsible person or adult would do this. So I did a little bit of research into getting into this, and I've got material there that suggests that this kind of behavior is somebody who has sexual deviance and somebody who shows signs of, actually it's called paraphilia, I believe, in the same family as like pedophilia and all of these other things. And they have compulsions that are beyond their control, they just have to do it. And so they do not respect social boundaries, public boundaries. And in fact, some of them get a rise out of knowing that people are aware of what they're doing. This is part of what makes them happy. So these people, they need help, for one. And then, so when they do that, their mind is operating on these fantasies. I've read also that people who watch pornography, they play a script in their head. I do this and then you do that. And so when they're watching these things, it's suggesting in their mind that they would like to enact this, live it out. And so they usually target people who are defenseless, like children. Children who are also unaware of their surroundings, not as much as we are. They don't know what's coming to them. They can't see things from afar. So my point is, why would this person do this? They have a paraphilia, most likely some sort of sexual deviance. And then also I looked up, at the very back of your compilation is a list of registered sex offenders in Arlington Heights. And alarmingly, a lot of them are very close to the library. And I also found out that if you are a registered sex offender, you are not allowed to watch pornography on any devices, or you will be monitored closely. So that makes me think possibly another reason why they would want to go to the library. So my point is, no, it hasn't happened yet. No child has been assaulted in the bathrooms yet, but I believe in being proactive and avoiding a possible problem. To me, one child assaulted in the bathrooms is enough, way too much. We would not want our library and our city to be associated with that if we can avoid it. And to me, I see a red flag, I'm pointing it out. If we can avoid it, let's avoid it. My child is nonverbal, he's autistic. He's too old now for me to bring him to the women's bathrooms. I'm gonna start offending people. He has to go to the bathrooms on his own, the men's bathrooms. And I tell you, I hold my breath every time he walks into a bathroom. And so if we are inviting these people here, potentially exposing these children to possible dangers, then we have failed them. We have failed children like my child, not just my child, any vulnerable child. Even if these children are like my daughters, who potentially could defend themselves, still, what chance do they stand against somebody who's a grown man and is operating with these thoughts in their mind? So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And Russ.
Oh, hi, I'm sorry, I sat here because it seemed like it was full, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no.
It seemed like it was a little full on that
Yeah.
side of the room as I
Thank
came
you.
in.
Thank you.
I might speak kind of off the cuff here, I didn't have anything particularly planned, so yes, my name is Russ. Have an interesting perspective here in that I do work here at the library, in the digital services department, so the computer lab area essentially. But I'm, not speaking as an employee so much as just I'm also a, tax-paying resident and all that. I guess my concern, I kind of, respect and appreciate, but disagree with some of the kind of concerns voiced. My main concern is I think if we're talking about people viewing content themselves on a device that they're using, I think it's innately subjective where the line is. If we start, policing and saying this kind of content isn't inappropriate, I think that it's innately subjective from person to person, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and that's just, everyone who goes into the computer lab or has any device that they're using has the right to decide what they want to view and what they don't want to view. And I certainly might, agree with people here about what am I going to view, what would I view in public, what would I view at all, I wouldn't necessarily be looking at that sort of material, but I don't think that it gives me the right, I suppose, to say, someone sitting over there, shouldn't be looking at that. I think at a library in particular, I think a lot of people value the freedom to look at what they're looking at, whether it's checking out a book about a controversial topic, or whatever it is they're doing on the computer. I think people value that individual choice. I think it's really important to maintain that and to foster that, as opposed to, inhibiting it because, what's to stop if we say this content isn't allowed? What's to say that content that you like isn't allowed? Content that you think is very important to you, that's very politically important to you, well, maybe someone else disagrees with that. And so I just would be concerned about that. I definitely think that in my experience working here, customers really value their privacy, especially ones working in the computer. There's a lot of safeguards to secure privacy on the computers. If you sign out and you stop using it at the end of the day, it wipes out everything. A lot of people use the computers, for that reason. They don't want someone watching them. They don't want someone over their shoulder looking at what they're doing. And that's kind of part of why they might go to a library, which it's a public space, but it's a public space that's really built around privacy. And I do think that a lot of customers value that and use our services because they're confident that no one, at least, employed here is looking over their shoulder. What are you looking at? That's not something we get involved with. If I'm helping someone print something off of a computer, I'm not meant to care what it is they're looking at, and I think customers kind of really appreciate that. I will say that, there are some customers that do, view that sort of content. I find that the majority of them, in my experience, we have privacy screens that filter very thoroughly, where if you're not directly in front of the screen, you can't see what it is that they're looking at. Most customers viewing that kind of thing do use those, and if they don't use that, we go up, the policies, we go up, we, request that they use that. And I've never had a customer that's averse to just putting a privacy screen on. So I don't think that it's the case necessarily that they're trying to be seen, because they're all more than willing to use privacy screens, many of them proactively. I do understand, of course, the concerns about children. I would say children in the computer lab is very rare. I'm working in there every day. It's very, very rare that there are children in there. There are Kids World's computers that do have those content filters, as they should, and kids tend to spend their time there. I think the only times I ever see children in the computer lab is very briefly, like with their parent or guardian, while that parent or guardian is printing something, in and out very quickly. Not to say that they're not in there, but I don't know if I've seen in the 2 years I've been here a child using one of those computers because their parent or guardian is, directing them to use the Kids World ones. I do, to the point about a customer having their hand in an inappropriate location, certainly if they are doing anything like that, that would be not okay. That is disallowed. That would get them, that would be security's call what happens, but certainly be a suspension or something of the sort. My supervisor did tell me when I started, that he'd only witnessed anything like that once in over 11 years or so being here. So customers viewing that content is frequent, but then taking it to a more external actionable level, just I don't really think so much is the thing that happens. And as to the point about why would a customer come here to use those computers, I find the majority of our customers that are in here regularly might be coming from a background where they don't have access to the internet at home. They don't have access to a computer at home. They don't know, or they're not comfortable using it, or they just don't live in a situation where they have that. So I do think a lot of customers might be using them for that reason. And I'd be sensitive to that. Not sure I co-signed at 5 minutes. I didn't have anything else specifically planned, but bottom line is my main concern is just, even if I might personally agree, I don't like that content, I don't want to see that content, there's nothing to stop anyone else from saying the same thing about content that, I might not have a problem with, that's important to me. So I don't think it's any one person's or group of people's decision to say that's not allowed, because someone could just as easily say it about something that's very, important to you. That's my thought, I suppose, somewhat off the cuff.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else, no one else signed up, but does anyone else want to speak? Okay, again, as I said, we don't normally get people that come to our meetings, so we appreciate that. And because I received a text about this and the whole board received an email about this, I just wanted to make a statement, but again, we're not going back and forth right now. I will say I've been on the board 3 years, and this is the first time that we have received an email or a phone call about this. I know that the staff it sometimes has questions from customers, but it is not something that happens all the time. And certainly no one, most of us are mothers, we all love children, we all, want our library to support children. No one wants to see pornography at the library. We don't want anyone to see it, especially children. And we do take your concerns carefully. As a library, we are committed to supporting the First Amendment, meaning that the government should not decide what people read or see or hear or view. We do just sort of FYI, we don't filter the adult content. You realize that. We do filter the content in Kids World. We do filter content in the hub, which is like the teen area. It is very rare for children to be in that adult computer area because there are computers in Kids World and in the hub, and that's where they go. We have screen protectors, and if someone alerts a staff member that someone is watching inappropriate content like that, they are asked to use a screen protector or potentially move to a different area. What else was I gonna say? So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that those safeguards are already here. And there is, I don't know if you're aware of that, we have a single sex bathroom that's not for men or women, but for one person. So if you have a child or a student or someone that needs that, we do have that. This is not a new policy, and actually, we have not looked at this policy in a while, so we are going to review this policy at our next meeting. So we have 2 meetings a month. The next meeting is May 6th. It's our committee as a whole meeting where we have discussions about policies or something that we would vote on at a board meeting. So we only vote at board meetings, but we have discussions about different things at committee meetings. So that meeting is Monday, May 6th. And as I said, this topic will be on the agenda. But in the meantime, I also encourage you, and it sounds like you've done some research, to look at 3 policies that we have listed. The technology policy, the computer policy, and then I think it's code of conduct. So there have been instances where we have had to suspend someone's privilege from coming to the library. So just know that we do have policies in place for behavior. And that's really what I wanted to say. So again, thank you very much for coming. And again, we appreciate you coming to us, or we received a letter from a woman who wrote all the trustees, which is, we do want to hear from our community. So thank you. All right, moving on to our liaison reports. I see our Friends liaison is here, and they had a big sale last weekend.
Yes, we did have a big sale, and the preliminary number is $29,500. So, we're still collecting, we have eBay and all sorts of stuff now.
That's great.
We also had our odd year elections, and everybody was on board, and returned to the board. So, which is good, because we have a great team, publicity and membership. And I wanted to let Mike know that security has been really helpful to us over the years, and we had a 5-star review on them. Stop by the sales.
Thank you. Good night.
You stop by the sales, we have sales, they let us, use their safe space, safe, put stuff in their safe. And they also volunteer, help out, and to be a second counter when we count cash and everything, so I wanted to let Mike and the board know that they're a big part of the team too.
That's great. Well, that's a big sale. It was such a beautiful weekend. I was a little worried for, attendance for that, but.
I was out of town, so it's.
My daughter went both days, came home with like a bag, like a bushel of books, both days. And then, we happened to be here earlier today, and, she's like, I can't believe this whole place is like cleaned up, like, where was everything? Like, it was this crazy madhouse. So,
Yeah, we get it.
not in a bad way, it's just a lot of stuff.
We get a lot of help from high school,
That's good.
from maybe ROTC and other volunteer groups, they can on just box up and move everything downstairs on Sunday. It takes about 2 hours. They just do it else. Thanks for.
Yeah, great, thank you so much. Anything from the
I
foundation?
do have a report here from the foundation. So evaluations from our April celebration of International Women's Month were very positive, and it's an event that they are considering replicating on an annual basis. They're exploring and evaluating an art experience held last Sunday. They continue to explore additional ways to utilize the makerspace. Members of their scholarship committee are representing the AHML Foundation on April 18th at the District 214 Trades Fair and promoting their scholarship opportunities for District 214 graduates from 17 to 23. Applications are being accepted through May 1st. And thanks to their new marketing director, who is working on weekly reporting on foundation activities and events to increase their outreach on social media. They are also exploring an early fall online impact report to their donors as to progress thus far this year. That's all I have from the foundation.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm actually meeting with a couple foundation board members for lunch tomorrow to discuss the putting together a strategic plan, and I just, they asked me to share what we've done and so on, so wonderful. All right, moving on. I'm looking at the minutes of our joint meeting with the village board and the library on March 16th. I am wondering if there is a motion to approve the minutes.
And move approval for the minutes for the Arlington Heights, Village Board in Arlington Heights Memorial Library meeting on Saturday, March 16th, 2024.
Second?
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Looking at approval of the minutes for our regular board meeting, which was March 19th, 2024. May I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting on March 19th, 2024.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good, thank you. All right, looking at the financial report for the period ending March 31st.
Okay, I have the report for March. Real estate tax revenue totaled $5,983,458.56 for the month of March. The library received personal property replacement taxes in the amount of $19,153.63. Our copier printer revenue totaled $4,418.39. We collected non-resident card fees in the amount of $474. Our lost item charges totaled $942.94. Our March interest income was $44,164.75. The Federal Library reimbursed us $12,346.09. The bulk of that was for the Hendrickson Room AV, as well as the first library card wallets. Other income was $709.20. Revenue collected for vehicle stickers totaled $256. Makerspace miscellaneous revenue was $638.39, and our total revenue collected in March was $6,066,993.24. On the expense side, 25% of the fiscal year has lapsed, and we have expensed 25% of our total operating budget, and 9% of the total annual capital budget has been expensed as of March. That is everything I have for the budget.
All right. Any questions from board members? Anything specific? I just have a question, and that is just in general, for you or Tracy, is anything surprising you? Has anything, it's been 3 months. Everything looks great.
I think the only surprises, and I wouldn't even say surprises, we knew that they were coming, were some of the rollovers from Kids World. The shelving that we have this month that we're paying for wasn't able to get here in time. And then the rollover for the chillers, that project, rolling over into this year. Those were probably the only unanticipated major expenses that we had.
Okay.
Let me say can't remember the word you said, but, we had budgeted those for those last year, so that we do have the money. It's not like they're surprise expenditures.
And
They're-
the Schiller's, we rolled over into this year.
Correct.
And then the shelving was unanticipated that it would not be in before the end of the year, but they had supply.
I remember us discussing this, I just need to make sure that we had allocated correctly.
All right, and how about the check register?
Okay, I have a few checks to go over. On page 3, check 102202 to AHML. That is a MasterCard charge to IKEA. The net amount is $69. We had ordered 2 tabletop work surfaces for the studio rooms. When we got them here, we found that they didn't fit quite right, and therefore they were returned. The $69 is the shipping and handling fee that was non-refundable. On page 4, check 102269 to Library Furniture International in the amount of $9,383.39. That is payment for the delayed shelving related to the Kids World project. The only remaining balance left to pay for this shelving is approximately $270 for the kick plates that have not yet been received. On page 4, check 102253 to the ILA conference in the amount of $4,640. That is for the ILA Reaching Forward Conference. Registration fee for 29 library staff members for this May in Rosemont. Reaching Forward is an annual professional development conference with a commitment to providing quality training and information to library support staff.
I have a quick question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Going back, I apologize, for the shelving unit check, it shows in the amount, the $9,383.39, but in the check amount, it has $9,548.39. So that, the 200 you were referring to, that is for the kick plates?
The
Sure.
200 has not been paid for the kick plates yet. That's probably another item that we ordered from LFI, completely unrelated, but it all gets classified as a single check to the vendor.
Got it. So there's the amount and then there's the check amount,
Correct.
which are different.
Right,
Yeah.
because that check would include multiple orders. So the order I'm highlighting here is.
Okay,
is the
all right,
Kids
just
World.
making sure. Okay, thank you.
All right, then on page 8, there's various checks and various amounts to various vendors. A lot of those are to for the staff day for T-shirts and guest speakers for our 2024 staff day coming up this Friday. On page 27, check 102268 to Legal GPS Inc. in the amount of $600. Our 1-year unlimited access subscription for libraries, which helps eliminate legal barriers for entrepreneurship for customers. Users can save money and time on legal services with this tool, which offers affordable and efficient solutions for navigating legal issues. So this is the annual renewal for that. That is everything I had for checks. Nobody have any
One
questions?
other question that I didn't send you ahead of time, and that is on page 10. $68.48, but for bank deposit slips, we have to pay for those?
Yeah, it's similar to when you need to replace your own, like.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
checkbook,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
okay.
For our weekly deposits. that
Gotcha.
we ran out.
Gotcha, okay, thank you. All right, may I have a motion?
I move approval of the accounts payable check register for the Arlington Heights Memorial Library for March 31st, 2024, in the amount of $1,151,621.86.
Second. All right, may I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Burrell?
Yes.
Trustee Fallon?
Yes.
Trustee Kelly?
Yes.
Trustee Meadow?
Yes.
Trustee Rule?
Aye.
President Smart?
Aye. Thank you. All right, the executive director's report.
Okay, I have a few things to highlight from here, and it seems like when I go through these, and prepare this, I kind of want to highlight everything, but I'm going to try not to do that because we'll be here all night, but I am going to highlight a few things. There's just so much in here. If you guys have questions about any of the things that I don't highlight, please, let me know. On the first page, I wanted to highlight the Women's History Month. Nearly 80 people attended the Mix and Mingle event at the Makerspace celebrating the incredible women of Arlington Heights. The special event curated by the library's Heritage Months Committee was designed to bring women together across the community. Attendees networked and mingled with local women, including representatives from local female-led organizations. Special guest speakers for the event included Donna Marie Post, founder and curator for TEDx Arlington Heights, who spoke about unifying our communities. State Representative Mary Beth Canty, who spoke of her efforts to pass legislation regarding education, and Scratchboard Kitchen's executive chef, Grace Gowdy, who spoke about being a mentor to young girls who are looking to pursue a career in the food service industry. Michael, our Maker Place advisor, helped attendees etch a custom pint glass giveaway using the laser engraver in the fabrication room. And special thanks to the planning team, which included team leader Nikki from Programs and Exhibits, William from Communications and Marketing, Catalina from Communications and Circulation Services, and Diane from Info Services. In addition to the Mix and Mingle event, a series of programs and events in honor of Women's History Month were hosted in person at the library and in the community, as well as via Zoom. One of the events was an International Women's Day celebration with nearly 30 attendees. The featured book display was Women's History Month themed and had 125 checkouts. Info Services Advisor also curated online book lists, which are available on the library's website. And on the next page, just to highlight a couple of partnerships, our Youth Services Department partnered with the Gale Borden, Mount Prospect, and Skokie libraries on hosting Kentucky-based Mr. Science. Nearly 170 attendees learned about the science behind their favorite Pokemon characters in a fun and engaging way.
Sorry, Mike.
That's good.
So when you say you partnered with these other libraries, like, does that mean, like, what does that mean? I don't even know.
It means we contributed to a program together,
Oh, okay.
you know, so Dana, do you have specifics on?
Well, yeah, it could be costs or it could be, someone
Promoting it together.
Okay, okay,
and sending.
okay, cool, thank you.
Then the library collaborated with the Arlington Heights Youth Commission and the Arlington Heights Park District for the 12th Annual Teen Job Fair. This year, 250 high schoolers and over 100 parents and caregivers filled the Arlington Ridge Center's gym to connect with 18 different local businesses, including the library. Then on page 4, our Info Services Advisor, Diane Malik, is a recipient of the Arlington Heights Alignable 2024 Local Business Person of the Year. Alignable is a social network platform designed specifically for local small businesses to connect and share advice. The 2024 contest honors local business owners and allies who have gone above and beyond to help their peers in their communities. Diane also received this recognition in 2021. Okay, then on page 5, the Friends-sponsored Sunday Musicale series continued in March with 161 music lovers attending a special Women's History Month performance with Places Chamber Ensemble. Jay, our Programs and Exhibits assistant, invited this group of exceptional musicians to celebrate female musicians and composers, and their set included little-known compositions by 19th and 20th century French and American women, including Undine Smith Moore, an important Black American composer and educator. And then over 130 people attended the Native Landscape Design program curated by Jay, our Programs and Exhibits assistant. Local nonprofit noticed the event in the library's newsletter and reached out with an offer to give away native seed packets after the presentation. And then for the month of March, the ESL and Literacy Services team hosted 60 programs with 782 people in attendance. Of these group programs, 52 were taught by staff and volunteers at the library. And on page 6, at the top, the diversity of the library's collection has grown from 14.4% in 2021 to 19.1% as of March 2024. Eve, our cataloging librarian, adds the diverse subject headings to items recently added to the collection, with about 600 titles each month receiving the headings. This includes regular print items, large print, audiobooks, ebooks, and e-audiobooks. Currently, the collection has over 39,000 items that have diverse headings. And let's go on page 8, the top. The Programs and Exhibits Department continues to host diverse culinary classes in the Maker Place Kitchen. 32 customers attended Blue Zone Foods, Japan by local chef Ludmilla Nelson. Attendees made a colorful and healthful tofu seaweed salad. Customers also attended classes on Passover foods and one-pot Indian meals. And then let's see, on page 9, Tracy, our ESL and Literacy Services Coordinator, teamed up with Kate, our Maker Place specialist, to present Doodle and Chat, a program where 9 participants with varying levels of English proficiency worked in the creative art space to create 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional doodles while chatting in English. It was a relaxed but fun program, which saw 3 new to the Maker Place learners as well as 1 new to the library participant. That is everything, I was gonna highlight out of the main, report, but I did want to just have you flip over to the last page there in the statistics. I wanted to point out the program attendance, as of this year for Maker Place. And, just show that, you know, we have really been adding a lot of programs over there, both culinary and, regular Maker Place classes. And we're seeing a pretty big surge in, usage over there. So we're up 84%, for the year so far. That's everything I wanted to highlight. Anybody have any questions or?
I have to say, one of the things, I always love reading this, and I love that it's available on the website now and it's highlighted, so our community can see all that occurs at the library. You know, I feel like we're a leader in the library community, and I love that a former hub regular, so a teenager that grew up in Arlington Heights and is now at U of I Champaign, started, you know, basically what she learned at our library. So I think that's awesome. It's really expanding our reach and, you know, what a testament to the great things that we do, and especially for teenagers and people that love anime. So I thought that was a really good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a question on the program attendance. So it is page 13. How did so 84.2% in the change?
Mhm.
With the 6,000, how did we get 84?
Oh, so that is, you're looking at the 6,800% change.
Yeah.
So that
Did
is.
not include,
No, that's compared 2023 to 2024 for programs that we consider other.
oh, so we're
We only
changing.
had 3 that
Okay.
when we first started tracking that, and we had 208 in 2024.
So it wasn't an average. I wasn't even looking at that. So that the 84% is just the change from 2023 to 2024. So 1048 and 569.
Right, right. So it's an average of the numbers.
So I
for
was
comparison.
looking at the bottom, I'm like adding the 4 dividing, but I misread that. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Old business. Nothing. All right. Thank you. New business.
All right, I would invite Sasha Vasilic, our Communications and Marketing Director, to come up, and Sasha is going to present our annual report, which we recently completed. And give me 1 minute here, Sasha. I will share it on people at home.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Sasha Vasilic, and I'm the library's Director of Communication and Marketing. I wanted to start off by saying that I'm very excited to present to you all the 2023 Library Annual Report. The annual report will not have come together with many staff that have contributed to the stories that are included here, the pictures that they send to us, and also the communication and marketing team who put the whole package together, put all the copy together, the editing, and the beautiful design of our annual report. I do want to mention also before moving forward that at the end of last week, we released this annual report on social media and on our website as part of National Library Week. So please know that I think everyone at the table does have a printed version, but it is available on our website. All right, so page 2 and 3 of our annual report are 2 messages, one from our executive director and one from our board president, talking directly to the community about 2023's accomplishments, and both in favor of a bright future ahead for the library. Next, we didn't want to fit it in a specific category since the Kids World Refresh Project was one of the biggest enhancements to the library in 2023. So Kids World's makeover received its own page. And then we move on in more chronological order of what happened in 2023 at the library. I want to bring everyone's attention to the lower right-hand corner where we talk about library cards. In 2023, over 5,000 new library cards were issued compared to over 4,678 that were issued in 2022. January saw one of the greatest increases with nearly 400 library cards issued, which was an increase of almost 50% over the same month in the previous year.
Must be because people put, I want to read more books on their New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Right?
Or get that library card, might get that library card,
Yes, like it.
I'm not sure if everyone knows, but we do have a variety of different designs for our library cards, and they're kind of broken up into different age groups. And our youngest customers, so children younger than that are in kindergarten or younger, in 2023, we issued almost 700 of those specific library cards, which was an increase of 240 cards from the previous year. So really exciting to see, because library cards are like one of the basic measurements of the success of a library. So it's really great to kind of see that kicked off in the beginning of 2023. Now, in the upper left-hand corner, I want to bring your attention to something that I thought that would be really, really interesting. There's a lot of talk still at library board meetings of how are we doing post-pandemic? Are we back to pre-pandemic numbers? Where are we headed? What are the trends? And I'm happy to present this evening that in January of 2023, our info desk staff answered over 1,400 questions, and that was the busiest month since January 2020. So it's really nice to see that the community is still viewing us as a place for information. And also a little fun fact, they answered over 13,000 questions at the desk in 2023. Oops. It was a record-breaking year in the Maker Place Kitchen with more than 1,400 attendees at 95 classes, offering something for everyone. Though not in chronological order, but still on topic, in November of 2023, the Maker Place Kitchen reached a new record high in attendance at culinary events with a total of 237 attendees at 14 classes. One thing since I started working here that I thought was really, really cool is that we have our own space at the Arlington Heights Senior Center. And in 2023, we offered more than 300 library-specific programs. And I really thought this was a great number, that over 500 seniors learned to use their mobile phones, tablets, and personal computers at the library's reading room at the Arlington Heights Senior Center. So it's really nice that we are serving all ages. Community engagement and outreach is a very, very important way and very, very crucial way of getting the library. We can't move the building, but we can try to bring the library to the community. And in 2023, we interacted with over 3,600 community members. That includes at Swing Into Spring, National Night Out, Heritage Fest, and at the Farmers Market. 2023, the bookmobile celebrated 50 years, and we did it with a bang. The bookmobile was the star of the 4th of July parade, and it was accompanied with a custom-built birthday cake float. Also, we held a build your own bookmobile contest where 3 winners were selected by random drawing to win a 30-minute visit at the library's bookmobile. How cool is that? I think that's very, very, very cool. In 2023, the bookmobile served over 24,000 customers and over 52,000 items were checked out just from the bookmobile. Moving on to July, we have, I would say, probably one of the most popular events in the community. And it's really awesome that it is held actually in this library, and it's FanCon. And in 2023, FanCon, it was one of the highest attended in the library's history with over 900 people in attendance. And the next one is being planned now. So a lot of really, really cool things to expect for this year. So we hope to surpass the 900 and something attendees for this year. Summer reading is definitely probably one of the biggest programs that a library has, and it's really great to see that in 2023, we did see some growth. So in regards to the youth summer reading program, over 3,600 youth ages 0 to 18 participated, surpassing the previous high mark of participation set in 2019. Over 50,000 days of reading were logged across all youth age groups. Now, for the adult summer reading program, they had a bingo card as their activity, and one of the squares in the bingo card was to fill out a book me request. And they saw an increase due to that. So in June, almost 40 requests for customized book recommendations were completed, a monthly record high since the program's debut in 2021.
I have a question that just kind of came to me about summer reading. When we had the presentation from the data analytics guy, right? That amazing tool that we have. I'm just kind of curious about how our summer reading relates to the number of students, 0 to 18 that live in Arlington Heights. Like, I don't know if our population of that is going up or going down or just staying steady. I'm just curious, at some point, maybe you should take a look at that, because I think that I would guess that our numbers are pretty high, especially for like grade school students. What percentage of grade school students in Arlington Heights take part in this? And you can count the parochial schools. But it's always so fabulous, but I don't know if Arlington Heights, it's hard to know. I mean, the schools change a little bit, but it's such a great number. It's always so fun, and it's always so busy here. If you come in on a summer day, especially if it's like kind of a rainy day or, not sunny. All right, sorry, gave you a chance to get a sip of water.
So moving along, we are on the lower left side. I worked in library marketing for many, many years, and I can't remember ever hearing that a library was able to get, because it's very hard to get, the WGN morning news around town segment that comes with their library. And we had them here not once, but twice. So we had them here in January of 2023, where they helped promote the Arcade Age exhibit. And then we also had them in the fall to promote the Maker Place. So very, very, very cool way to kind of share all the amazing things that we do to the Chicagoland area. Digital circulation of materials is up over, so we're talking about 2023, so it's up from 2022. And the digital circulation includes materials that are checked out on Cloud Library, Hoopla, and Canopy. So in 2022, the average digital circulation each month was a little over 19,000. And in 2023, library averaged over 21,000 each month, an increase of nearly 2,000 checkouts each month. On the lower right side, the library received a few awards and recognition in 2023. The one that I want to point out specifically is an important one because the community voted for this. And the Arlington Heights Memorial Library was voted #1 library in the Daily Herald's 2023 Reader's Choice Best of the Best. And the back page of the annual report is traditionally the year in numbers. Now, I'm not going to go through every line here, but I did want to share some important numbers and also to present to you all the great growth in those numbers from last year, from 2022 to 2023. So total collection use is up over 13%. Visitors to the library up over 12.5%. Library programs offered over 7.5%. Library program attendance up over 50%. And Maker Place visitors up over 16%. So in conclusion, I wanted to just thank the Arlington Heights community for continuing to check out materials, attending programs, in utilizing services and continuing to think that the library is a vital resource in their community. We really appreciate that. And I also wanted to thank the wonderful Arlington Heights staff for their creativity, for their innovation, and for their passion to serve this wonderful community. Thank you all.
Thank you. Wow. This is fabulous. It's so bright and colorful. I love it. So this is available digitally on the website. Is there a printed version ever or no?
We have not historically
No.
printed it from
Yeah.
what I've
Yeah.
heard. And the graphic design supervisor wanted me to let you know that these are just printed copies of the copy machine, because we
So-
have very high standards here, so please don't share this with anyone. Please let them know that it is on the website.
Yeah, we're gonna check the colors.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Well, actually, I think even looking at the numbers of people that download or read books digitally, that's going up. And so reading reports digitally, I think is a natural way for people to sort of extend that, because even though I like a printed thing, you take it home and then eventually throw it away and then you waste the paper. So, it's great that it's available for everyone to see on the website. Does anyone have any questions?
Not a question, but, yeah, just bravo. Not only is the information great, it just looks really pretty, so.
Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, like what would the cost be? I know I'm just putting it out there. What would the cost be if we printed it and did it like a
I have a
newsletter?
number.
I
We
mean,
did investigate, because we wanted to present the best for you all.
I'm
And
just curious.
We just reached out to a vendor that we've used in the past, and because it is 16 pages, 4 color, and the whole shipping, and actually a unique size, it's not supposed to be 8.5 by 11, it was like $400 or $500 to get it kind of run or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was.
I'm just like, cause
And-
when you get like the newsletter, I'm always like, okay, what can I go to? What can I go to?
Yeah.
But this is something you can sit, it's not like, what am I going? You can just sit and really, absorb everything that you do and think about what your library does for you. I think it takes a different part of your brain instead of like, should I do this? Should I sign up for this? Should I do this? This is just, you get to reflect on everything that your community organization, that our library does.
Have,
I don't think,
and I know that PMS colors aren't maybe perfect, but, I think to have some copies around the library
like in
would be a
Whitmore,
nice
in
idea,
waiting
like the
rooms,
gentleman that
places.
was here earlier, that he comes here to read certain newsletters, clearly, and there's plenty of people that come to read newspapers, I think, and I don't know, it's just something we're thinking about. I'm not saying do a huge print run, but to have some copies around might not be a bad idea, I don't know. You
I
guys
think it's
think?
something we could consider.
Yeah.
Next year.
It'd be something that we just have at the circulation desk, that, the couple of copies, we can like check it out, read it and bring it back kind of thing while we're here.
Limited run, that's what we're gonna put on.
Or like at the Park District and the Village Hall, places, the people that are gonna see this at the library, come to the library. I'm thinking about other people that wanna really see, wow, their library did all this, like, just, just to get more exposure. And not like everybody, but I see like there's certain places that you can put it in the waiting room at the doctor's
Right,
offices.
or, the park districts have waiting rooms while your child is taking a dance class or a basketball clinic or whatever. I don't know. There are certain spots, I think, that. It could be
Or we can make
interesting.
it where people can check it out.
And return it.
Barcode scan it.
Timer on it.
Well, thank you, and thanks to the whole
Yeah, that's
staff, who
great.
I know works on all of this, and particularly to your staff who puts the final product together, so it's really wonderful. We appreciate it. All right, looking at other new business, discussion of the Pride flag proposal in honor of Pride Month, which is in June 2024. Do you wanna?
So there was a proposal submitted for the board's consideration. What you have in front of you is the submission, the presidential proclamation, the image of the flag that we would fly, and the policy 7.0 007 use of flags on library property, just so you have it at your disposal there. So it's for consideration.
This would be the third year, if we were to approve this, that we have done this, and certainly the first year when we chose to put together a policy and fly the pride flag, we had a lot of community input. We did not have community input last year. Have you received anything or heard anything? Does anyone else? No. Okay. Does anyone have anything they would like to discuss before we take up the motion? All right, I would accept a motion.
I make a motion that the Board of Library Trustees approves the flying of the pride flag in honor of Pride Month in June of 2024 in accordance with policy 7.007, use of flags on library property.
We have a second?
Second.
Second, all right. There's no budget associated with this. All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. Any other?
I have a couple of things. The 2024 American Library Association Annual Conference is coming up June 27th to July 2nd. If any trustees are interested in going, please let Janet know.
You will find
A hotel?
one of my staff was found an Airbnb, you know, that's what he had to do because everything's booked.
You know.
No kidding.
No, actually, it's closer than some of the conferences.
Where is it in San Diego? Is it by like the harbor? Like, where
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
by the convention center where
Oh,
that
right
is.
by the harbor, yeah, okay. No, I was just there for a work thing and it
Oh,
was like,
okay.
ugh, I would love to do this.
You didn't like, no?
No, I love it. I said
Oh,
it was
okay.
like, I would go, but yeah, no, it's probably right there at the convention center, at the marina in the Gaslamp district. How many staff are going?
Four. And then we also have a Lacone trustee banquet coming up May 3rd through 6th. That's in Oak Park. If anyone's interested in attending, it is on your calendars, but you can let Janet know and she can help you get signed up. And then just a reminder, staff day is April 19th, this Friday. The library will be closed. And I know some of you will be attending, so thank you for taking your time out of your schedule to attend our day. I think we have a great day planned. Really looking forward to it.
Andy, are you able to attend? I'm just curious to see who's.
I have to be on a train heading to Kansas City at 2 p.m.
Okay.
So I will look into if I can swing by in the morning, but
We can't talk. If there's more than two of us there, we have to sit separately.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I will be there early, but,
I was gonna say, just a reminder, it's at Harper College, not, yeah.
yeah, no, I did know that. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get all my i's dotted and t's crossed before I leave town for 6 days, so.
I wanted to mention, I received an email from village trustee Tom Schwingback, who, I believe he works with the Boy Scouts to distribute posters regarding veterans for during the Memorial Day parade. I've done it before. Last year, you did it
Yeah.
with me and so did Greg. So if anyone is able to, again, you sort of walk the parade route backwards before it starts, and there are these really nice flag, I don't know, flyers kind of that, or people put them in their windows and it lists the program that occurs, which is a really nice program in Veterans Park after the parade. So I told him that I would bring it to you, so let me know if you can do it. If you'll be
And that's
around.
actually on Memorial Day, right?
It
It's on
is.
that Monday.
Yeah, it sure is. What else? I just wanted to say a couple things. I've been at a few different events lately. One thing I saw online, which I thought was fabulous, was someone had a a wedding shower at the Maker Place, and they had Grace Gowdy serve as, teach everyone who attended, I guess, how to cook something. And I just thought, I know we're thinking of ways to use the Maker Place, and that was obviously rented out by that person who lives in Arlington Heights. I thought that was a really cute idea. And I know that, I'm sure it'll be in your report next month, but the Eclipse party in the park is fabulous. There were so many people there, like 750, right?
over 700.
Yeah, and because it was a school day, I thought, oh, well, it'll be a few older people and some toddlers. No, it was packed with all ages and shapes and sizes, and it was great, so.
Yeah, I got to go over.
I saw
and-
you were in the picture.
I was. It was super fun to like go and connect with everybody
Yeah.
and it was, exciting to see everybody start gathering and, the lawn chairs and
Yeah.
it was so cool to watch everybody and.
Yeah, they had some little signs that you could like selfie, kind of. It was-
Yes, and I did, just for the board's record, I did suggest that saving them until 2099 would not be fiscally responsible of us to do that. So they said they were going to repurpose them.
Yeah, I've seen things online where you can send them to students in South America who are the next clips first. I went to one of the book discussions last week and it was a really mixed audience, which I loved, and, the facilitator was fabulous. And today I tried the guided meditation, which was, again, you have expectations about what a crowd might be like, and it was different than that. It was crowded, it was a lot of different kinds of people, and it was terrific. So thank you for all the programming that everyone puts on for the community. It's very important. All right, anyone else? No, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. So moved.
A second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.